Welcome to Talking Crue, an unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 18 this week. Motley Crue's Greatest Hits 98 review. More on that here in a little bit. This weekend, Motley News. On Monday, the band announced that they will be playing a show in Calgary, Alberta, Canada on Thursday, July 11th, 2024 at the Squashua Bank Saddle Dome. Tickets go on sale today, December the 8th, today. So if you're going to this show, make sure you get your tickets and write me a comment down below. I'd love to know. Mick Mars is in the news this week. He's done another countdown video. Uh, the last time I saw it, I think it said 7 or 8 days left. I have a feeling it's another single off his new album. I'll do a bonus episode if that's what this is, like I did on his first single. Nicky's also in the news this week. He did a radio interview on 95.5 KLOS. It's a great interview. It's about 13-14 minutes long. He talks about Christmas. He talks about the co-headlining tour they did with Def Leppard. He talks about some of the plans for 2024 and a little bit of the plans of 2025. I don't want to give a whole lot away. I will post a link in the comments section in case you missed this interview. Definitely check this out because it's got me really pumped up. And yeah, definitely check this out. And that's it in Motley News. This is episode 18, Motley Crue's Greatest Hits 98 album review. I say 98 because there is another version of the Greatest Hits that came out in 2009, and I will do a episode on that and kind of compare and contrast the track listings. So on this week's episode, I'm just going to continue on with the timeline of and releases, and this is what they released next. So let's go timeline. June 97, the band flies to Denmark to play their first European show since the Monsters of Rock Festival in 1991, which is the Decade of Decadence tour. They play in front of 90,000 fans. July 97, the band hooks up with Gibson guitars, and whoever tries out one of those new Gibson guitars gets a CD called the Swine Sample. It contains 4 songs off Generation Swine. Track 1 is Find Myself, the dirty version. Track 2 is Let Us Pray. Track 3 is Shout at the Devil 97. Track 4 is Find Myself, the clean version. Also that month, the band plays The Tonight Show and Jay Leno. Elektra Records tells the band they are actually going to help support this album and put a lot of money into it. August of 97, the tour dates are announced for the U.S. part of the tour, and the band tells people that they will play 2 hours long. Also that month, Tommy and Pam says they're having their second child, Dylan, as well as Motley World Tour plays 2 outdoor shows in Tokyo, Japan, with Zakk Wylde and Steve Vai as the opening acts. The band also announced the opening acts for the U.S. part of the tour, legendary band Cheap Trick. September of 97, they start what they call the Swine Press Conference Tour. They went to Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit Rock City, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, New York City, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, Ohio, and ended up in San Francisco, California. Now, they did all this in 3 days. That's just crazy thinking about it now. 3 days and you went to all these cities and did press conferences. Also, they released tickets go on sale for the Motley Crue versus the Earth tour. 50% of tickets are sold in every city. Tommy and Pam sue Milton Ingley, who is the one selling their sex tape. October 97, Motley Crue kicks off the Motley Crue versus the Earth tour. Also, they come up with this band rule. Uh, During this tour, if any member of the band gets caught drunk or high, they are fined $25,000. And there's random drug tests. In fact, Vince gets busted pretty fast. At a show in Uniondale, New York, Vince gets into a fight with a fan. At a show in Greensboro, North Carolina, Vince walks off the stage after getting hit with a drink, but he actually comes back to try to finish the show. During this same show, Nikki tells the crowd that this will probably be the last song because security guard's hitting fans, and then Nikki gets into it with the security guard, and then Nikki tells the fans to kick his ass, and the band plays for another 20 minutes. There's actually a YouTube video of this show. It doesn't show Nikki in a great light, but because he says a certain word, and yeah. But I mean, I think it's cool that Nikki stuck up for the fans. But yeah, that one part, yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. Uh, in November of '97, Elektra Records stops promoting the Generation Swine album, hoping that the band will go in debt or break up, where they still owe the band $12 million. The band tries to make Elektra Records hate them and get them out of their contract so they'll pay them that $12 million. That month, Motley plays in Columbus, Ohio, as fans jump the stage during the song Helter Skelter. After Nikki says, "I wish we could get closer," and the fans stay all the way to the end of the show. And this is another famous Motley Crue show on YouTube. Yeah, great show. Look it up if you can find it. If I can find it, I'll post it in the comment section. But yeah, if he said, "Come on," I would have been there. What about you? Let's see. December 97, after a show in San Francisco, California, Vince decides he's going to go out and get some drinks. Nikki finds out about this and he calls Vince at the hotel and says, "You owe me $25,000. Vince tells Nikki he's tired of not having fun and singing the swan songs. Vince said, "I'd rather go solo," and he's quitting the band. Nikki tells him, "Is it because I want you to be clean and sober?" Vince tells him where to go, tells him he quits. Nikki gets pissed and he punches Vince. They wrestle to the ground. Nikki actually has him in a stranglehold. Mick and Tommy sees all this going on, doesn't even break it up. They think this is what they need to get out of their system. After this brief little fight, Vince gets up and goes to the airport, and the band goes to the airport in separate vehicles. When the band gets there, Vince walks right by them and flips them off. Gets in a plane by himself and flies off, leaving the band behind. They actually cancel the show, which is where they were heading next, Boise, Idaho. They cancel it, saying due to weather, because they couldn't land their private jet. But it was because Nikki and Vince got into a fight, and plus Vince said he quit. A few days later, Vince meets with Nikki, and they get a lot of stuff off their chests. In fact, they become closer than ever, and even to this day, I mean, you can see it in videos and pictures and whatnot. Yeah, they're close. They're super close now. Also, Motley Crue plays their final show of the Motley Crue versus the Earth tour on December 12, 1997, where they dropped 40 pounds of flour and threw a birthday cake in Nikki Sixx's face. It was his birthday. December 29, 1997, Dylan Lee is born. January 98, Tommy Lee starts telling people that Motley Crue is working on a covers album and that it will be released mid that year of 98. He also tells people he's starting to write songs for a solo album Nikki starts writing songs as well. February 98, Motley Crue actually goes into the studio and starts recording this covers album. In fact, they had a title for it called Record to Crash Your Car To. I actually remember reading this in a magazine that they were going to do a covers album. They sounds like they did record some stuff. I wonder what happened to this. Maybe I'll ask Nikki or see what happened. If this is still floating around or they have this. February 24th, 1998 is a very disappointing day to say the least. Tommy is cooking and he gets frustrated because he can't find the pan that he wants to use. He and Pamela, get into an argument and the kids start to cry. Pam goes and gets Dylan and she starts to try to call her mom. Tommy keeps hanging up the phone on her. Then she goes to get to Brandon's room to get him. As she walks by Tommy, he actually kicks her in the butt. Tommy tells her he and Brandon's going to go see the pond, and she wouldn't let him, and Tommy actually wrestles Brandon away from her, where she actually kind of stumbles, breaks a fingernail, but this is the part that kind of scares me when I read this. Dylan actually bumped his head, who's only a couple of months old. Tommy and Brandon go outside to see the pond. While they're outside, Pamela calls 911, says that she's been attacked. They arrest Tommy Lee. Also, Pamela shows them the illegal guns that Tommy has. The next day, Pamela goes on TV. I remember this really well, like Access Hollywood or whatever those Entertainment Tonight and stuff like that. That she was going to charge Tommy to the max, and that she didn't want to have any kind of contact with him. District attorneys charged Tommy Lee with 1 count of spousal abuse, 1 count of child abuse, and 1 count of illegal firearms. February 27, 1998, Vince's sex tape comes out. Again, I never saw this either. So if you have, write me a comment down below. Tommy pleads not guilty. The judge orders him no contact with Pam or the kids or her family. Plus, she orders him to go to anger management. The bail is set at $500,000. March of 98, Tommy moves in to Scott Humphrey's house. Also, Nikki plays Tommy some of the new Motley Crue songs he's been working on. And that month, Motley Crue and the Elektra Records are no more. The band gains all control over the albums and the masters. They are the one and only few bands in history that have their own stuff. While I was putting this together, I was reading some comments from Alan Kovac, the band's manager, and still to this day. He said that they told Elektra that they could keep $10 million of it, but give the band $2 million of it, or pay the band $2 million, but give the band their masters and copyrights. Here recently, I think Motley sold it to BMG not too long ago. But yeah, I mean, that's a big move. The Beatles just now got their stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's important to keep that stuff in mind. April 98, Nicky starts working on a side project, 1958. He also tells people that they're not doing the Motley Crue covers album. Also, Tommy Lee pleads no contest and pleads guilty for spousal abuse, but the charges for child and illegal firearms are dropped. May 98, the band goes into the studio again with producer Bob Rock for 4 days. Also, Tommy starts his 6-month jail sentence. August of 98, Nicky starts talking about the Greatest Hits album, which is what we're talking about today. And then September of '98, Tommy Lee gets released from jail. October of '98, and I remember this as well. Me and my friend Scott was talking about this one. October '98, Motley Crue, to promote their new song "Bitter Pill," appears on WWF's Monday Night Raw. Yeah, big wrestling fan. I don't watch WWE anymore. I watch AEW. But yeah, I remember Motley Crue being on this show, and I could not wait. In fact, I think I taped it on VHS. But yeah, so there's the timeline. So let's go some info and facts. The original title of this album was going to be called Bitter Pills, because if you have this, you notice there's pill bottles on the back cover. That was actually supposed to be the front cover. So Nicky thought Bitter Pills, but quickly changed his mind and changed it to just simply Greatest Hits. There's two new songs on this album, both produced by Bob Rock. One became a single, and that is Bitter Pill. Enslaved didn't get released as a single, but did become a video, and it's actually on the Motley Crue's Greatest Hits DVD, and it's on YouTube as well. The album does not have anything off of MC94, and it doesn't have the hit songs Livewire, Piece of Your Action, or Too Young to Fall in Love. It was released October 27, 1998. The album did peak at number 20 on the Billboard charts, and it sold 500,000 copies in the United States, which means it went gold. Not bad, especially in '98. Alright, so we're going to go track by track, but I'm not really going to talk about every single song. I am going to talk about the two new songs, and then I'll just tell you what the rest of the songs are. Plus, I kind of go fanboy, so hang on to that. Alright, so track number one is one of the new songs. It's called Bitter Pill. Starts off with some crashing, cool guitar sound and strumming. Then the song just kind of takes off. Great guitar riff as Vince starts to sing. Lyrics are freaking amazing. I love the lyrics on this. Then there's kind of this trippy part, very cool as it reaches the very catchy chorus. The song just freaking rocks. Great playing by the band. Vince's vocals performance is outstanding on this song. It doesn't have a guitar solo, but it has some screaming guitar sounds on it. It also slows down a little bit and then comes right back up, so it's kind of like a roller coaster. This song is so freaking awesome. It's so good. I love it. Bitter Pill, in case you've never heard this song. And last song, song number 2 of the new songs is what I meant. It's called Enslaved. This one starts up with a drum fill and some great guitar screaming on it. And then it just blasts off. Fantastic guitar riff as Vince sings. The lyrics are absolutely amazing. I love the lyrics to this song. Vince vocals, again, outstanding. There's a great tempo changes in this song. Catchy chorus. To me, it's a very inspirational kind of song. It's almost it's telling you to stand up for yourself. Don't take you know what from anybody. Don't be a slave to anyone. That's basically part of the chorus. Don't be a slave to anyone. Stand up for yourself. I love it. Absolutely fantastic guitar solo by Mick on this one. Again, this song just freaking rocks. It's so freaking good. I love it. Enslaved. Watch the video if you've never seen the video. And that's the two new songs. Now, the rest of it's our hits, and I'm just going to read down what's on it. Song number 3 is Girls, Girls, Girls. Song number 4 is Kickstart My Heart. Song number 5 is Wild Side. Song number 6, this is an interesting one. This is Glitter the Remix, and it's actually really good. It's I think I actually like this version better than I do the album. I might have to listen to them back to back again and make sure. Song number 7, Dr. Feelgood. Song number 8, Same Old Situation. Song number 9, Home Sweet Home. Song number 10, Afraid. Song number 11, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away. Song number 12 is Without You. Song number 13 is Smoking in the Boys' Room. Song number 14, Primal Scream. Song number 15, now this is an interesting choice and I absolutely love it, Too Fast for Love. Song number 16, Looks That Kill. Song number 17, Shout at the Devil 97. So here's where I'm going to go fanboy real fast. So I broke this down. So you got one song off the debut album, Too Fast for Love. You got one song representing the Shout at the Devil album. You got two songs representing Theater of Pain. And you got two songs representing Girls, Girls, Girls. You got all 5 top hit songs off of Dr. Feelgood. You got one song off of Decade of Decadence. And like I said, there's nothing off of MC94. And you got, surprisingly, 3 songs off of Generation Swine. And that's the album. Homework this week. Which is your favorite of the 2 new songs? And which one's your least favorite? I'm going to say, what's my least? None. What's my favorite? Both. I love both of these songs. I really wish they would play Enslaved live, or even Bitter Pill, whichever one of the 2. But yeah, I would love this. Nikki, John 5, Tommy, Vince, are you guys listening? Put this in the set list. One of those 2 songs. Alright, so that's it. Homework, or I already did homework. Next week's episode is episode 19, and I'm going to take a break from the albums. I'm actually going to talk about a TV special that they did. I'm going to talk about VH1's Behind the Music. That will be next week, episode 19. I want to thank everybody who's viewed all these episodes. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed, everybody who's gave me thumbs ups. I really appreciate it. If you know anybody that is a Motley Crue fan, send them this way. Tell them share them the link. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook. Type in Talking Crue. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That actually helps out the podcast a whole lot. Both of those things, subscribe and the thumbs up. And I will see you guys next Friday. And you just took a ride on the wild side.